I want to tell you a story about a kitten named Ripley. She was born with a shadow, her sister Rosie, a sleek, all-black twin who moved like smoke. They were feral kittens who kept to the hedges and wire fences, always together, always watchful. But Ripley had a softness in her. Even wild, she'd linger at the doorway, curious and brave, the one who'd let me get just a little closer. The first time she came inside, it was on her terms. She stepped in, pupils wide, whiskers forward, then decided that the toy on the floor and the patch of sun across the rug were worth the risk. We played until the energy ran out of both of us. She climbed onto the blanket, motor going, loud, honest purring, and her eyes slid shut. When I woke, she was still there, small chest lifting and falling. I reached out, stopped just short of her paw so I wouldn't break the spell. Ripley opened one eye, considered me, and then laid her paw on my hand. A touch so gentle it barely registered, like a note struck and held. That was the moment we stopped being strangers. After that, she'd drift in to play, drift out to rejoin Rosie and their parents. Outdoor cat, indoor guest, no rush, no promises, just trust, built one visit at a time. I wanted better for her. Feral life is short and sharp, and winter is unforgiving. On October 25th, I decided it was time to have her fixed. Fewer dangers ahead, fewer kittens born to struggle. I set a carrier by the door, coaxed her in with a toy and calm words, and we started the 20-minute drive to the shelter. When I parked and opened the back door, the carrier was empty. The latch looked closed, but it wasn't. In that breath of a mistake, Ripley was gone, a black and white streak leaking into the tree line behind the shelter. We followed the scuffed leaves and snapped stems until they vanished into nothing. Ahead of us, 100 yards off, railroad tracks ran like a boundary line. Beyond that, Martin's Creek split the land into two wide, cold pieces. The water was dark in places, fast in others, and the banks were a mess of bramble and debris. We searched until light failed. The next day I worked the map in my head and on my phone, tracing paths that didn't make sense for a cautious cat. I set food and toys near the shelter, then farther out, then in tighter arcs along the creek. Nothing. The woods kept their secrets. That afternoon I walked into Empire's, the little local spot down the road. I ordered a sandwich. Raphael, the owner's son, built it just right, and told him the whole story while the slicer hummed. He listened, the way someone listens when they can't fix it but want to try. He took my number. I thanked him. And if I'm honest, I shelved the hope. People mean well. Life gets in the way. Days dragged. Every rustle felt like a maybe. Every night I imagined the creek and the tracks like walls Ripley couldn't breach. The distance was only 0.2 of a mile, but between the water, the rails, and the emptiness, it might as well have been 10. On November 5th, my phone lit up.
Hey, it's Raphael. My dad just saw a black cat with white paws behind the cafe. Looks like you're Ripley.
I wanted to believe him. I didn't. The topography was wrong, the timing too perfect. But hope doesn't ask for permission. I grabbed the trap, fresh food, toys that still smelled like home, and headed to Empire's. We worked the alley and the brush behind the cafe, eyes flicking to the places where a cat might pause, under the pallets, behind the bins, along the chain-link shadow. No Ripley. I left the trap set and came back again and again. Still nothing. The map in my head kept insisting, there's no way she crossed that creek. But the world is full of ways we don't see. On Thursday, the phone rang again. This time it was Paula, a trapper with the kind of voice that sounds like a solution.
Got her, she said, simple as that. She's safe.
Friday, November 7th, I went to the shelter to pick Ripley up. She blinked at me from the carrier, calmer than she had any right to be, as if the last 12 days were just an errand she'd had to run. At home, I opened the carrier and sat on the edge of the bed. Ripley walked out, circled, kneaded the blanket, then curled up at my feet like she'd never left. That night she slept there, steady as a heartbeat. I lay awake longer than I should have, thinking about that first gentle paw on my hand and how small gestures can change the shape of a life. Unbelievable? Sure. But cats don't care about our maps, and love doesn't mind crossing water.